Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! The following video will contain spoilers from the Flash episode, Welcome to Earth 2. So spoilers. If you don't want anything ruined or spoiled for you, stop watching now! Hey guys, Dave here. And, oh my goodness. The episode, I saw it last night, I had to watch it again this morning, and it's so good. It's all kind of goodness right there, I'm telling you. I mean, I felt good. I mean, just what I thought, that it wasn't going to get any better than Sierra Renee herself commenting on my last video. You can go check that out. This episode, everything I may have had beef with, everything, it might have been slow or building up to, this was climactic. I mean, it was, well, kind of. This is the one everyone was waiting to see. And finally, after shutting down the other portals, the guys are ready to go to Earth 2. So, it's Wells, it's Barry, it's Cisco, and they're heading through. Unfortunately, unbeknownst to them, when they did go through, there was a bit of a feedback from all the other portals being closed, so now the speed cannon was shut down. It was destroyed, basically. So now they have 48 hours to get it up and going, or they fear that they could be stuck on that world forever. Because they don't want to risk Zoom or any other creatures getting through, so they're going to shut it down. Well, as they're journeying through, we see amazement. We get to see the rows upon rows of parallel universes that we've seen before in arts from George Perez and so many other people covering the multiverse. We get images of what appears to be an African-American man in a green hood and holding a bow and arrow. We saw Jonah Hex. We saw what looks like the 90s Flash, but someone pointed out on the Arrowverse site that it actually looks like the symbol was reversed, so that might have been evil, or they just could have just done something bad in editing. And Supergirl flying. We saw Supergirl flying in the multiverse. We also saw Gorilla Grodd as apparently a king. We saw a Legion flight ring. I wanted to say this was my cameo, but I can't go out like that. I'm not going to lie and be a punk. But no, yeah, but Legion flight ring. Yes! And it was interesting. I mean, the guys get to see this weird retro-futuristic thing. I love Earth 2. This episode alone, I'm not only going to do a review of it, I feel at least 1 to 2 theory videos coming out just from this. It's so good. This one episode's making me, I have to do something. It's too good. It's too good. So anyway, oh my goodness. Where do we begin? So, in the parking lot, we got this retro-futuristic kind of vehicles. We got planes flying overhead. We got the monorail train going over. And I was trying to come up with a good name for the style of it. I even got excited. I put it on my Facebook page. I contacted the Arrowverse. I'm like, you know, since this style, there's no real way to define it that I could have thought of. I mean, steampunk is 1890s kind of thing, Victorian. You know, a diesel punk is like 1930s or 40s, but it doesn't have that same feel as like the World War II vehicles and stuff like that. Atom punk is got like 1950s sci-fi. I couldn't think of anything really particular to call it. So I thought I came up with a brilliant idea to call it, since it looks like, you know, it's out of like the 1930s to 50s comic books kind of thing, from the old early pulp comics. What about calling it pulp punk? And a friend of mine said, no, Dave, it's called Art Deco, so I wanted to be the father of pulp punk. Dang it! Anyway, the idea was to use Vibe's glasses and powers to try to find Zoom. Unfortunately, they didn't take into account that since Earth 2 vibrates at a different frequency, the glasses and chip they have in it wouldn't work. So that sucked. So now they're stuck. No idea what's going on. We get all kind of little cool things dropped. We get apparently Mayor Snart is issuing a new 9 o'clock curfew. Mayor Snart. Yeah. We've got CSI report, investigator Barry Allen with a bow tie, because apparently on Earth 2 bow ties are cool. And Barry gets the idea to take his Earth 2 doppelganger. They got him knocked out temporarily, and he assumes his place. We get to see the inside of the precinct. instead of the Justice League-esque representation, it has more of a fair and just society kind of thing. So it's a society nod. That's cool. And it looks like the soldiers on the helmets, they all have like the little Flash Mercury wings going on. So that may have been something going on specifically with the War of the Americas. Maybe it's a kind of identifier for the badge. I'm not sure, but it looks cool. Anyway, we get to find some different things. Captain Singh is apparently a gangster and a villain who's being arrested. We get to see the Earth 2 Floyd Lawton, a.k.a. Deadshot, who is not only a cop, but apparently the worst shot ever. So this kind of stinks. And Detective Joe West turns out to be Detective Iris West. Oh, it gets more than that. Spoilers. One, Iris, of course played by the lovely Candace Patton, looks good in pantsuits, particularly from the, badonk-a-donk. Anyway, and they're married on that Earth, so that at least is cool. She's wondering if her metahuman device is going on the fritz because it's picking up something from Barry. Doesn't make any sense, but they end up going home to their home. It's kind of interesting to see Barry feeling kind of awkward about it. On the phone, very cool stuff there, including some possible hints about some heroes that we may never get to actually see in the show, but are coming up in, March, I believe, for the movie Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. I'll have to get more into that later. But apparently in this universe, his mom's alive. And they talk about the tickets they got for going to vacation to Atlantis, and which that's kind of cool. And it's just really touching to see these little chain reactions of things that are still here. Meanwhile, it looks like Killer Frost and Deathstorm are shaking down some punks. They're also getting words that breachers have come through. So apparently Zoom has told them that breachers are a big problem and that they're on the eye to keep out for them. So they're on the hunt. I don't know how they're able to detect these particular breacher. That has yet to be determined. I think it might have something to do with reverb coming up. So anyway, in this world, apparently Barry, a.k.a. Bartholomew, does not get along with Joe, a.k.a. Joseph, who does not become a cop and is a lounge singer instead. So that's another thing I was wondering about. If there's a 9 o'clock curfew, what the hell are these people doing out there jump jiving and wailing in a nightclub? Just putting out there. But there's obviously some friction there. But then here comes Deathstorm and Killer Frost. Our Barry tries to alert them to let them know, hey, we're trying to reach Caitlin, the good person he knows is there. That doesn't really go very well. Eventually Barry manages to take them outside. They're having a bit of a fight. There's one cool scene where Barry even rips off a replica helmet from of Jay, who they actually have a statue of because they believe he's dead, and use it to deflect a Deathstorm bolt into Killer Frost. The two fly off, and they manage to take Joe, who got struck by Deathstorm's power, to the hospital. He gives pretty much the speech of where he's dying. So it looks like Deathstorm's powers may actually be more radioactive than just fire and force, because if you know for a fact you get hit by somebody called Deathstorm and you're getting nuked from the inside, you're probably going to know you're going to die soon. So that was pretty bittersweet. Meanwhile, on Earth 1, the villain known as Geomancer is coming around. Apparently Jay recognizes him as from Earth 2. His doppelganger on Earth 2 died, but the Earth 1 apparently also has powers. I'll have to get more into that possibility too, because there might be some interesting fluctuations here that might be going on. Basically, you ever see the movie The One with Jet Li? I'll have to go back into that with my Earth 2 video. Anyway, Jay also drops a very significant thing, that he doesn't want to take Velocity 6 anymore, because apparently he did gain powers, but he started using Velocity 6 to get faster and faster, but that actually caused damage to his body. So then I got to try to find a way to give him his speed back to take care of Geomancer in Barry's absence. Really big stuff going on. Eventually, Geomancer is confronted, and here comes Jay. Actually, it was cool to see him have the Flash powers again, thanks to Velocity 7. That didn't quite work, though, because they cut out just in time. Joe manages to save his life by shooting Geomancer, but he took off. And it's just kind of frustrating to see him get that back and then not. And also, it looks like, this also might fluctuate, but the problem with is this, my theory about Jay possibly being connected to Zoom in another way, or being Zoom, maybe, maybe not, but I'll get more into that in another video as well. Anyway, the Detective Iris gets a message about trying to find where Deathstorm and Killer Frost are. Barry talks him into taking Cisco along with his weapons to neutralize Killer Frost's powers. And they manage to go to head it off. Lawton also tags along, feeling a need to do that. And then, of course, we get to answer a question that Cisco's been asking. Apparently, those two are just the muscle, and the one that they're actually working for works directly for Zoom, which is Cisco Ramon of Earth 2, a.k.a. Reverb. It's worse than that. Apparently, he doesn't just have the powers to pick up things and view from other realities. He has the full-on vibe powers where he can actually affect vibrational frequencies and stuff and shoot out vibro shock blasts. He's even trying to do this seduction speech to our Cisco to try to get him along. That doesn't really seem to go well. Here comes the Flash to try to save things, but he gets taken down in the middle of the fight. And Killer Frost is saying, no, Zoom says his speedster, leave him alive. He doesn't want him harmed. And here comes Zoom, stabbing Deathstorm in the back, and lectures Reverb before putting his hand right through him. And he's gone now. He scares the crap out of Killer Frost and snatches up Barry, takes off, and she's running away. The rest of the team is pretty much still alive, but now Barry's been captured, thrown into a jail cell, effectively. A glass or possibly like Lexan bulletproof thing. He's in one cell, Jesse's in another cell, and a mysterious guy in a jumpsuit with an all-metal helmet who can't seem to speak and is trying to use Morse code, what it looks like on the glass. So, who is this mysterious person? Here comes Zoom, pretty much gloating that now he's got him. So, now it's up to the remains of Team Flash on Earth 2 to try to locate Barry and to rescue him. But what's worse off, Jay also points out, once again, there's a 24-hour thing here. They said 48 hours, and then if they're not back by then, close the portal permanently. So now that Jay's recovering, and they're talking about possibly trying to find new ways to boost his speed up healthfully, it looks like they got 24 hours to try to fix the speed cannon and get the guys home, or they could be stuck there. Next week's episode is going to be Escape from Earth 2. The promos look amazing for it, and from what I'm getting on a lot of things I've been seeing on the news feeds, it's the highest rated episode since 2014, so that's awesome. All in all, I mean, it feels like an episode and a half. I mean, it ticked me off a little bit that, as the time starts clicking down, you knew they weren't going to be able to get back in time. So it's a two-parter without letting us know. Thank you very much, guys. But it seems like the Flash writers, whenever they do like a two-parter, like a crossover, there's so much that they throw in there. It's so jam-packed. It feels more epic. It feels so much bigger, so much greater, and I like that feeling for it. All in all, definitely a must-see episode. It's fantastic. It sets us up for so many more things going down the line. It's going to be awesome. And I don't know where to start with my next videos. I look for another video coming up. I'm probably going to be doing Jay Garrick's Dark Side Part 2. I'm probably also going to have to do a whole other video on Earth 2 theories, connecting to Reverb and Vibe, the more of the art style and possible things that might have happened in that universe. Because there's a surprising thing that I did not expect to see on Barry's phone there, and it well, if one person is on there, then where is another familiar face that we should be seeing on Earth 2? Don't know, but all in all, it was awesome, very cool. I'll see about trying to get the theory vids coming up here soon, but right now I got to get this in the box. So what did you guys think of the episode Welcome to Earth 2? Please like, comment, subscribe, share, pass this bad boy around. If you want a good laugh, check out my last video, Message to Sierra Renee. you just take a look at the comments. It's amazing about the people that chimed in. I think one of my favorites is someone whose YouTube identity goes by the name of Zoom. And I wish I could do a better Tony Todd impression, because I just like hearing the idea of Tony Todd's voice looking at my video going, LOL, yo, that was dope. Shout out to Zoom. Alright guys, I'm out of here for now, so keep an eye out for more videos coming soon. Until next time, Dave signing out. Peace, yum yum.